Did you know there was nearly an independent Native American country around the Great Lakes? Known as Tecumseh's Confederacy today, it was a political alliance of indigenous peoples around the Great Lakes and down to the Mississippi River. Forming by about 1808 around Tecumseh's brother, Tenskwatawa, who was a spiritual leader. The alliance resisted the advance of U.S. settlers over the Appalachian Mountains and Ohio River. Tecumseh quickly became leader, encouraging other nations to join, such as the Wyandot and the Haudenosaunee. Eventually, the U.S. Army decided to move into the territory of the growing Confederacy. In 1811, the U.S. General William Harrison led a force to the settlement of Prophetstown and, after a brief battle, entered the deserted town and burnt it and the supplies held there to the ground. When war between the British Empire and the USA broke out in 1812, Tecumseh allied with the British. In return for helping them fight at Niagara and Amherstburg, the British would aid them. Their first victory was the capture of the US-held fort in Detroit, but further setbacks after the defeat of the British fleet on Lake Erie in 1812 meant that the US was able to advance into Upper Canada from Detroit. At the Battle of the Thames in 1813, a large US force advanced a little south of London, Ontario. The British army was forced to withdraw, and Tecumseh, along with hundreds of his soldiers, was slain by the US troops. With his death, the alliance between the nations quickly collapsed. When peace was signed between the US and Britain in 1814, no mention or recompense was given to the indigenous peoples. Following the war, the Shawnee were dispossessed of their lands and displaced southwards towards Spanish America, northern Texas and Oklahoma now, or westward over the Mississippi. Over the next half a century, US officials expelled most indigenous nations from what would become the Midwest, forcibly relocated by the whims of colonial officials. The Shawnee, the Wyandot, and the Haudenosaunee are still here despite the efforts of these colonial officials. But imagine a North America where most of the Great Lakes was an indigenous nation, not a settler one.